And we are live. What's good, Charles? Your man, Bill saying, welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, I know it's late and I'm all over the place, but hey, man, it's summertime, man. Get in where you fit in. It is summertime. That's how we doing it. Um, I was just chilling, man, kind of doing my thing, and I saw something on YouTube, and I wanted to talk about it. It was Rich Cooper on Rich Cooper clips. He had a clip up there when he was talking to a young woman, and just kind of talking about his take on today's dating market, and he talked about hypergamy. He talked about some other stuff, right? So, I'm like, you know what? I want to talk about this, bro. I want to talk about this world, man. I'm always over here talking about the red pill, the manosphere. Rich calls it the mano swamp, but I want to talk about the non-RP guys, non-red pill, non-manosphere dudes, and I use three examples. Rich Cooper being one. So you got Rich Cooper, Stephen Speaks, and you got Michael Sartain. I would consider those guys that are they don't claim red pill or whatever. They don't claim the manosphere. In fact, Rich Cooper calls it the Mano Swamp. Um, Michael Sartain says he's red pill adjacent, which that makes sense to me. And uh, Stephan Speaks. I'm not really familiar with his content. I've seen him on Roommates, like in the thumbnails, but I didn't watch the episode. I watched a little bit of his content, and I'm talking maybe a couple minutes from some shorts, and I'm like, okay, just listening to what he has to say, and I'm like, yeah, I would say the dude is definitely not, uh, you know, part of the manosphere, probably not necessarily considered red pill. But it's funny because when you listen to their content, it overlaps. It's the same thing. Man, I would say that yeah, they are red pill in the sense that they're unplugged and they're talking about uncomfortable truths. They're just talking about things the way they are, not necessarily the way they should be or the way that Hollywood would make them out to be. So, I mean, it is what it is. We got brother Mike in the house, man. What's good, fam? How you feeling, bro? Good to see you, man. Shout out to you, man. He's like, Uncle, Uncle, Uncle. That's right. I do my welcome, welcome, welcome. Then we got the Knights. We got Knights up in the house. Templars in the piece. Jack Black. What's good, fam? What's good? My favorite podcast is on. Let's go, Templars. Yes, let's go, Templars. Appreciate that, man. Like we're growing, man. We're small, but this is the content that people really want to consume. So I'm gonna make sure that I do a couple of these episodes a week, and then also do more shorts because I get the most response from them, and I don't have a problem with it, man. You're talking about what's going on, and I can give you my take as an old dude who's been in the trenches a long time. And I give you my take on what's going on. You know what I mean? Take it how you take it. It is what it is. Brother Jack, like how Bedros Kellerman. I don't know who that is. Don't know who that is. Got to send me a link. Don't know who that is. So I mean, I would, when I look at like the man on swamp stuff, man, the usual suspects, bro. Like our people, like my guys, Myron and Fresh, like Fresh and Fit. You look at what Adam Sosnick is doing. Um, Rarely when PBD talks about or speaks on the current dating market, what he talks about, he really pushes relationships and marriage, but he also tells it like it is. So I could say that his when he rarely talks about that it's red pill, like it's unplugged. Donovan Sharp, Coach Greg Adams, um, there's so many others that you can name that will just come to the forefront. Even someone like Destiny, I can consider him RP in the sense that he's unplugged. He's telling things from a certain perspective that he looks at and sees as, well, this is how it really is. But he's to say he's part of the manosphere. No, his content has been embraced, let's say, by the manosphere. People are watching this stuff. I watch this stuff, but I watch it for the back and forth. MLD, another guy that's definitely, was to say manosphere content, but like, I don't rock with dude, especially with with the way, he got dealt with by those females, and the way he handled that. But I mean, there's so many. It's the names go on and on and on. Bet, like, send to my number. Bet, I'll check it out. My phone's not next to me. Actually, my phone's downstairs. So, but yeah, like we're gonna delve into this, man. We're gonna talk about these three dudes in particular, and I just give you my take on it. I'll say up front that I follow Rich Cooper, Unplug Alpha. It's a great book. I've been on this platform, you know what I mean? He's had me up and just, like, talks to us. He brings people up one at a time, which I think I'm gonna start doing on this platform. If we get people that want to actually call in, I'm just gonna do it one at a time as opposed to doing a panel. Um, that's something that I'm kicking that idea around. But not like I like the way dude thinks. You know what I mean? Again, another a wise guy, like not a wise guy, like we're not gangsters, but a wise man who's been around, has done some good things. He's leveled up. You know what I mean? He's gone through the legal part of it, and he's in Canada, so he's dealt with it up there, which is the same, if not worse, than it is here in America. So yeah, I got a lot of respect for him. Michael Sartain is new on the scene, but I like what he talks about. I like the angle that he comes from. So we're gonna see a little bit of that, but and then this Stephan Speaks again. He looks familiar. I kind of looked at some of his content and I was like, okay, yeah, I've seen this dude, and yeah, I would definitely say he comes from that world. The problem that a lot of people have with this particular content is twofold, man. First, people just don't like hearing these things. People get in there and they hear these things, and it's like, man, I don't like hearing basically the uncomfortable truth. That's like Myron likes to put it, right? People don't like to hear it. Dudes don't like to hear it. Women don't like to hear it, but it is what it is. So, and then a lot of times people don't like the delivery. Even when they sit down and listen to it, and they're like, all right, I see where you're coming from. Like you could break it down at a high school level. Yeah, like the captain of the basketball team, the captain of the football team, when it comes to, getting at the girls, is gets his pick of the litter. He's gonna have his main girl plus some other girls. It is what it is. That whole social dynamic. When people, when they actually sit down and talk about it, like, well, yeah, I agree with that. So, and then we got a clip where brother Rich was talking to me, and bro, when y'all hear this, y'all gonna be like, okay. So most people, when they sit down and really think about it, they agree with the message coming out of the RP world, coming out of the manosphere. They just don't like the way it's delivered in most cases. And then you do have people out there who's just saying some wild stuff, man. Let's keep it 100. There's some people out there just saying some really wildness that I don't even agree with. Like, oh, bro, you got it. That's what it is. Um, we got more nights in the house, man. What's good? What's good, man? GMC Hammer, what's good, fam? Good to see you, bro. Good to see you. I see y'all in the house, you know what I mean? So we got the Knights up in here showing support, man. I appreciate y'all looking out for looking out for your unc. Um, and then Jack Black saying, I like Zerka now. I don't rock with Zerka, man. I sat down when I was in Miami, he was at the table, and I'll tell you about this when we have when we meet up in a couple weeks, nights. Yeah, man. I don't. Nah, I don't get behind that at all. You know what I mean? Like I said, I don't talk to flat earthers, bro. I just keep it 100. You come at me talking about the earth is flat, man. I'm not gonna call you names. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna sit there and continue doing what I'm doing. I'm gonna eat my food, or I'm gonna pull out my phone and put my phone right in my eyesight of you, because I'm not even hearing that, bro. You believe the earth is flat? I can't talk to you. And that's just some of the things dude was talking about. Dude, way out there. So, yeah, I don't even rock with that. Like, dude, way out there. More power to him. Let him go do his thing. But we could talk about Zerker, bro. He's like, this man, Ella, exactly, man. Watch why he was banned, and now I understand. I mean, dude, just like I said, I sat down and yeah, what you seeing on camera is what you get. We'll talk about him at length, off camera. But be careful who you follow. That's all I gotta say, man. Be careful. Be careful who you like. I say this to people all the time, man. Just be careful out there. Like, just be careful. Just be careful. You know what I mean? You need to put everybody through it as far as a test, bro. They gotta reach a certain level, man. You know what I mean? And GM is like, can't wait to hear how things went. With Pat, things went really good, bro. I'm definitely gonna be talking about that, man. There's definitely some opportunities nights. I'm telling you, bro. I was texting back and forth with some people with Valuetainment today, as a matter of fact. So there's definitely some more to come. Thoughts on the recent Pat Beck David and Tate interview? I got done watching it. Yeah, I think the interview was what it was supposed to be. Very long. Like they posted what 4 hours and 30 plus minutes of it. I covered some of it yesterday. I planned on doing some more today, but the whole Trump thing came up, so I talked about that instead. And now I'm talking about this, so I will definitely talk about it tomorrow. Tate. He said a lot, bro. And I'm, we'll talk about it tomorrow. I'm gonna do a show on it tomorrow. And you can definitely see there's been a shift uh on Tate's side, which rightly so. I mean, look, they messing with his freedom. So there's definitely been a shift. He's still out there talking. He's still brave. I ain't gonna lie. If it were me, I wouldn't say nothing. But they did go through and they made sure they edited that video to where he didn't get himself in trouble by saying something or making the Romanian government upset. And then, it looks like some changes are happening. Something is going to happen at the end of this month. They're either going to charge him or it's going to be over. So I still think it's going to, I ain't gonna lie. I'd have been trying to slide some money into somebody's hand. I ain't gonna lie to you. Or that's the way it is over there. That's what I'll be doing. Here go some money. Here go whatever y'all need. You know what I mean? Here go a couple 100,000, go a million, whatever it takes to make this go away. But Romania put themselves out there, so they're gonna have to do something. They're gonna have to do something. They just can't drop it and walk away. They're gonna have to do something. And apparently, they say they step forward. There are more people that they've named as defendants, you know what I mean? And then I guess there's one or maybe two more people that they named as potential victims. We'll see how this plays out. So, the video was what it was, bro. Y'all know I rock with Valuetainment. I mean, that was a lot of time, and they didn't cut it down to nothing. They just cut out the stuff that might have gotten the Tate boys in trouble. But overall, I thought it was a pretty good interview. Not gonna lie to you. You know what I mean? Yeah, and Brother Mike was like 4 hours, 33 minutes. Yes, and they cut out like 45 or 50 minutes. So the original interview uncut is over 5 hours. And that's available. They're just waiting for the proceedings and this thing to be over one way or the other. Eventually, people will be able to see the entirety of that video. And that is a lot. You know what I'm saying? They say they upped the charges today on Tate. They changed it around. I don't know if they upped it. It seems like again, this is allegedly, you don't really know what's going on, but it seemed that they cut or dropped some of the charges and they may have added some charges and they may have changed the narrative of the offenses, the charges that they're alleging. So, bro, it's a different system. We don't know how the Romanians get down. All we do know is they are coming up to the end of their 6 months when they have to present something. So they're up against it. And they can't ask, I don't think it's a thing where they're going to try to charge them with some brand new stuff and then do a whole nother 6 months. I don't think they're going to do that. So they have to answer according to their laws with this initial stage. And no matter what, in a couple of weeks, we'll know. Tate doesn't seem to be too affected by these changes. But hey, man, we'll see, bro. We'll see. Say they changed it again. They did. But again, I don't believe they can reset the clock, so to speak. I don't think they can come forth with, we got these new charges. Forget all that stuff. We got this. This is the real thing. And then we're going to start a whole nother 6 months process. I don't think they can do that. But again, I don't know. Right? This is another country. This is their system. Again, if I were to Tate boys, I'm like, yo, who need to get this money? That's what I'll be trying to figure out. I'll be having people out there, right? My ghost folks going up to talking to people and getting money to whoever needs the money so this can all go away and I could leave the country. That's what I would personally do. But hey, I'm not the Tates, man. So we're going to see what it is. And then, Brother Jack went in nice and saying they made it seem more serious. They said, allegedly, this is all allegedly. There's a group of people out there that said it is these new allegations or whatever, these or more serious. I don't know how anything could be more serious than human trafficking. You know what I mean? Unless you're talking about like a 187 situation. That's the only thing I can think that's more serious, right? To what they were accusing them. You know what I mean? The essay and all that, the human trafficking. They hit them with some hard stuff. And then remember, they put that ties to organized crime in there. And that's the thing that from the very beginning, I'm like, that is the one count. It's ties to organized crime. That one right there, that would worry me because you could tie anybody to organized crime. You know what I mean? Anybody, especially when you're talking about a country like Romania. I could tie anybody in America to organized crime and they wouldn't even know it. You get the most honest, wholesome person you ever met in your life and give me the power of the United States government to dig in, and I can tie them to some organized crime element. It's not hard. It's not hard to do. So that's the one that worried me, but we'll see. We'll see how this plays out. We'll see how this plays out. Brother Michael's like, I'm not worried, Uncle. I'll rock with the Tates. Yeah, I rock with them too, man. I wish them well. This just what's going on is just It is what it is. You feel me? It is what it is. We just have to wait and see. This is one of the things you have to sit back and just wait. The Tates don't seem too concerned. They don't. They've already sat down. They did time. They already know what they're looking at. And he talked about that in the interview. So we're definitely going to cover it tomorrow. We'll cover it tomorrow. So it is what it is. I wouldn't want to be facing it in a foreign land. That's the thing that gets me. Like, if I got to face charges in America, it is what it is. You know what the system is like. You know what you're getting into. But to have to face it in some foreign country, man, that's just, that's rough. That's rough. Do you think they actually have mob ties? No, I don't think they actually have mob ties. But I mean, you look at someone like me back in the day. Like, I had mob ties. I knew people who was doing stuff. So you had guys who were doing stuff on the East Coast saying they were mobbed up. Ohio's old school mafia town, man. Youngstown, Toledo, even in Cincinnati, there was some guys, from the old ways back in the day, Dayton. So it's around there. There's all kind of ties to people with the Mexicans and the Colombians. It just whatever it is. Like, when I was in LA, I was talking to a bunch of people, right? I knew Russians who were doing things. It's like they had the tax. You know what I mean? I could tell like they knew what they was talking about. I ain't want to do no type of business with them. Just associates sitting in the room having drinks, chilling. You know what I mean? I know they're being watched. I know there were pictures being taken. I know it's video. You know what I mean? It is what it is. So no, I don't think they had mob ties. But do I think they were around, like gangsters? Yeah, absolutely. Look at the field that Tate came out of, man. He was in, kickboxing, regular boxing, those type sports, combat sports, man. There's a lot of criminal elements in there. So do I think they rock with them? Do I think they out there doing this kind of stuff with these type of people? I doubt it. I doubt it. Anything's possible though. Especially after they started making bread, maybe 10, 15 years ago, like, all right, maybe, you know what I mean? But after they started making money, after they blew up on social media and YouTube and all that, once they started Hustlers University and they started the War Room, there'd be no need to deal with anybody on that level. Absolutely no need to go out there and do anything gangster. But some people do it because they love the excitement. A lot of people in the streets, bro, you know what I mean? I'm not saying this is the taste, but I'm just saying in general, there's a lot of people, they can't leave that life because it's just too exciting. They got to have it. They just used to it, man. It's like, that's their drug. That's their thing. So, but no, I don't think, and I said this from the beginning, I don't believe that the Tates are guilty of what they were accused of. Right? I don't believe that they're guilty of what they were accused of. Like, all this stuff that came out, all that stuff has been falling off. And I stand by that, but again, like Tay said, man, they've been investigating these dudes like crazy for over a year, for well over a year. A government back, and then you got an entity like the BBC. They're out there like really delving into these guys, and they're not really turning up nothing. So I'm not worried about them. I think they good, but no, man, I do not think that they have actual mob ties. I don't think they're, in the streets like that. No, I do not believe that. But do they know some people? Yeah, absolutely. I know some people. You might know some people. You just don't even realize it. You know what I mean? So that's why I don't like that ties to organized crime thing. That's way too vague. What do you mean ties to organized crime? Like, that's way too vague. So you have to wait and see what it do. We got Brother Nightish in the building. What's good, fam? What's good, bro? Glad you came here, man. We're about to talk about the other side of the red pill, man. We're about to talk about non-manosphere coaches out there, bro. That's what we're about to talk about. So let's get into it. Let's check this out. So the first one we're gonna go with is Stephan Speaks. There is a video. It's a TikTok. Yeah, I know I don't do TikTok, but it's on YouTube. Someone posted it, and he's talking about number one signs he loves you. So, and I think that his content maybe be geared towards women, not necessarily men. Just kind of watching it, and I don't know if this dude is like a Steven Jackson, that's going to tell women what they want to hear. Because if you lie, they buy. That's most people. People like to put it on women. If you lie, they buy. But most people, you lie to them, you can talk them out of some money, bro. That's men and women. But it is what it is. So let's pull this up and check this out. Let me pull up the bigger screen. And let's check this out, bro. Here we go.
Willing to make sacrifices, and he becomes more open-minded to the things that you like. So first, let's start with sacrifices. Again, you have to understand that men who are not serious about a woman, they're trying to get more for less. All right. the idea of compromise, sacrifice, providing. These are things that do not translate or they're not embraced by the man who's just looking to have fun or who's not serious about you. But on the flip side, the man who does embrace those things. And so now he's more willing to sacrifice his time. Now he's more willing to sacrifice his finances. He's more willing to make adjustments to, again, ensure that you have what you need or to make sure that you're good. Is that he's willing.
Yeah, and what he's saying there, that makes sense to me. What he's saying there ain't no lie. I mean, dudes out here doing what they do. It's all about the game. I mean, people hate hearing that term. Are you talking about the game? It ain't about the game. Everybody ain't playing games. Bro, you born into this game and you would die in this game. That's just how it works out, player. It is what it is. Dudes are trying to get what they want, which typically is, that intimacy, right? Most dudes want Foxy Brown. That's what they're after. Now, there are guys out there who are looking for relationships, and that's what they want more than anything else is the relationship, but they're not trying to have a relationship where they, there's no intimacy involved, right? I don't think there are many men like that out there. Women tend to want whatever they want. You know what I mean? They want, experiences. They want security. They want, someone's going to protect them and whatever they want. They want all sorts of things, right? So, and then, people hate talking about this, man. The hypergamy thing, like women, people want to get the best they can get, right? And that includes men and women, but women in particular, when it comes to dating, they want to get the best guy. But there are some women out there who go after these dudes, these top tier guys, these guys who just tend to be in the best. And when they go after these guys, that's when you get that kind of talk that Stephan Speaks was talking about, right? They get with these guys and, these women are falling for the game and the dude just want to smash. He's just there to smash. That's it. And then she's like, I got him and he loves me and I'm going to give him the best Foxy Brown ever and he's going to fall in love with me. Like, no, he's not. No, he's not. That's a top tier dude. If he has any kind of game whatsoever, he has multiple women coming after him. Dude, he's doing his thing. He's running his rotation. You in the rotation. You in the rotation until he gets tired of you or you do something he doesn't like and you gone. He gone. That might be him hitting you up saying, come over. I want to see you right now. You don't come over, he might bump you from your spot because he got 2 or 3 women ready to go into that spot. So now the guys who aren't necessarily in that top tier, the guys, like the bottom tier guys, people talk 80-20 rules. Some people say 90-10, whatever it is. But the guys in the bottom tier who don't have as many women after them like that, he's going to have to do a little bit of work. He's going to have to do a little bit of work. So, and, he will be more likely cool with not smashing right away. He's going to want to take you out on, nice dinners, travel, bring you flowers and candy and all that kind of stuff. No real game. He's kind of playing a Disney fairy tale thinking I'm just going to be the best man ever. And she's going to take me. She might deal with you. It's just the situation flips. The situation she was in with the guy who really didn't want her. Well, now she's, rebounding from that and she's dealing with you and she really doesn't want you. Just waiting for one of those top tier guys to come back around. Right? It could be that too. That's why it's important you be up on your game. So, but yeah, listen to his TikTok there. And I think if that's the majority of his content, then he's talking to women. He's trying to, game these women up a little bit and let them know, and he's talking to the women. Again, he's not talking to the top tier women. He's talking to the women, the average women and all that, the average and best women. He's probably trying to put them on game. This is what y'all need to do, this and that. He may not be saying, hey, just get you a guy that's on your level because most women don't want to hear that. They all believe that they're 10s. If everyone believes they're the best, then you can't say get somebody on your level because she's looking at this dude, this top tier guy, like he is my level. Like, nah, he's just smashing you, love. He's just smashing, right? So when you look at that part of it, the message is pretty much the same. It's all about the delivery, right? It's how you present the message. When Rich Cooper was talking about the Mantle Swamp, he's talking about all the drama. And we see the drama with this MLD thing, right? You see the drama. There's always some sort of drama between this person and that person. And these guys are supposed to be these leaders or whatever. And they coming off feminine. I'm just using MLD as the example because he's the one that's going through it right now. But it's a bunch of them. It's a bunch of them. There's always drama between this person and that person. And it's kind of like for real, that's like junior high school type stuff, but it is what it is. When you actually get into the meat of the message tends to be almost identical whether you're manosphere or non-manosphere, right? Whether you're hardcore or not, the message is the same. So, I mean, it is what it is, bro. Um, and definitely shout out to you, brother Niders, like Steven Jackson or Derek, right? This dude, like the Derek Jackson guy, I never really listened to any of his content. I knew about him, and then when it popped off, when he got caught messing with the type of woman that he was telling these women that no one wanted or whatever, when he was doing what he was doing, cheating on his wife and all that. I mean, he still had the money, he had the bag, wound up leaving his wife for like what, an Instagram chick. I thought it was hilarious. But again, if you buy, people buy, bro. That's just the way it is, man. You're a good salesman. You can sell anybody anything. You can sell them hot tamales in hell, bro. They'll buy them if you're good enough. Um, yes, he's Steven Labzieri. Yeah, I don't even know how to pronounce his last name, but yep, that's him. And I think if I said Derek, I misspoke. It's like at Stephan Speaks on his that was his handle on TikTok and on YouTube is at Stephan Speaks. So I think he's focused on females. Right? And I think he's focused on the black community. And you guys correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, like that whole Derek Jackson thing, that was completely different. But again, Derek Jackson, he got the money and still doing his thing. And that's a top tier guy. I mean, he's, former football player, man. His body's built up. He's nice looking and all that. I'm sure he's got game. He's been doing his thing. And his woman is just kind of, I don't know what's going on with that. I know people were talking about that in Black YouTube. I'm going to have to go back and figure out what happened. Apparently something happened. I don't know if his wife came and did something or if maybe his wife took him back. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that, but I'm going to look into it. But I mean, it kind of goes into, a lot of people saying, you know, women will share a top tier guy. And a lot of people like, no, that's not true. Women won't do it. All right. Okay. And it's like these days, men share what they consider a top tier woman or any woman for that matter, because they're just trying to get that sexual access. So you hear so many this poly thing and dudes are sharing their women with other dudes because that's what she wants, or he'll say that's what we want. But most guys aren't cool with that. But these dudes are like, I'm just trying to get it. Or maybe, he's emotionally attached to this woman and just, I'm going to do anything for you. And if you want to smash other dudes, fine. I'll sit here and hold the camera. There are dudes who do that. Now, if that's what you want to do, man, more power to you. That's not something I'm going to do. I'm not going to do that. That doesn't make any sense to me. None. Right? None. I'm definitely moving on. But hey, man, that's what you want to do. Go ahead and do it. I mean, you but that is not the way. That is not the way. But yeah, there are definitely people out here doing this kind of sort of thing. Women will share a top tier guy. They won't like it, but they'll do it. They'll do it. I sat in Fort Lauderdale in Miami a couple weeks ago, and I'm looking at the two most beautiful women at the table, right? 2 out of the top 3 most beautiful women at the table, right? I'll put it that way. 2 of the top 3 most beautiful women at the table were with one guy, and they both knew about it. They were both there with him. So when people say that, oh, women won't do that, yes, they will. Yes, they will. If that's what they want to do, yes, they will. Just like you got guys out there who will walk up to another man and say, hey, my wife or my girlfriend wants to smash. Is it cool? I mean, I'm her husband, I'm her boyfriend, but it's cool with me. Do you mind if I hold the camera and just, film it while you smashing her? This happens. Dudes is saying this, man. They're doing this, bro. They're doing it. So, it is what it is. So Michael Sartain was the next one I had on there, bro. We're gonna, pull this up real quick. I like this brother. Former Air Force. He was a captain of the United States Air Force, man. I love his take on what's going on globally with America, like his take on what's going on in Russia and Ukraine. Ukraine has started their counteroffensive thing about battles and fighting. It's way easier to defend than it is to attack. In Ukraine, reportedly, depending on who you listen to, have already suffered losses. That's to be expected. Depending on their battle plan and what they're trying to do, we'll see how this plays out. But it takes a lot of resources to push somebody off the territory, to push them off that hill. It takes a lot of resources, a lot of manpower. You're going to take a lot of losses. So they've started their offensive. We'll see how well it goes. but Putin's already lost. This war's been going on way too long. Putin's already lost. He right now is probably just a matter of him holding on to power. You know what I mean? He just better hope that, the Russian people don't turn on him. And it doesn't look like they're ready to, but who knows? You know what I mean? It's hard. Who knows? But yeah, but Michael Sartain talks about that. We talk about America's military might, talks about how no one really on this planet can defeat America. It is what it is. But he also talks about the dating world. And he also, he's a reader, man. So he talks, he ties it back to all these books and all this research he's done and all these people he's talked to. And again, the message is similar. Like when he talks about what's going on with the sexual marketplace, what's going on, why women make select the way they make select and all that kind of stuff, it's really close to what's going on in the red pill world. I would say he's definitely unplugged when it comes to this sort of thing, like his take on it. But in this, we're gonna watch this TikTok, and he was saying, yes, you can have female friends, because people in the RP world, the manosphere, say men can't be platonic friends with females. You can. You absolutely can. Certain men can, right? But the guys at the bottom 80 dudes, nah, because those dudes are gonna always want to smash, right? And the top tier guys, like if I have female friends, yeah, I mean, if she's throwing it at me and whatever, yeah, I'll smash whatever. But I'm not pursuing her like that. I'm not tripping. Like I have other reasons for her being around me, and it's nothing to do with sex for me. You know what I mean? But other dudes can't do that because they're so thirsty, bro. Like I gotta hit. You know what I mean? It's like okay. You know what I mean? Like okay, that's not keeping it 100. So the average guy will use that friendship game to get at a woman. And that's what the RP is always talking about. Like, look, ladies, these dudes, like Fresh and Fit was notorious for this. These women, like, I have friends and, this guy would never do anything. Okay, pull out your phone, call him right now, tell him you want to smash. Be real about it. Tell him, like, yo, I'm just feeling I need somebody. I want you to come through. I'm telling you, man, 9.5 times out of 10, that guy's coming over to smash. He's driving over to smash. If you go over, if you got a guy and he's your bestie, and you with him and y'all watching Netflix, the lights are out, you drinking on wine, he drinking on whatever he drinking on, and you curl up with him and start touching on, you touch his joystick, watch what happens. It's going to pop right up. He is going to make it happen. He's not going to be like, let's stop and think about this. Nope. He's going to have you bend over and he's going to do what he's going to do. That's just how it is. Accept it. There's some other dudes who be like, man, nah. Some girl like, I'm gonna come over, like it's I don't know, midnight, 12:30, 1 in the morning. Hey, can I come over? I've had a hard day. Like, nah, man, I'm cool. I got something going on right now. I'm gonna holler at you tomorrow. You said you good, right? Are you good? I'm gonna holler at you tomorrow. I'm not dropping everything to have her come over, man. I ain't on that. I already know what time it is. I know what she's trying to do. No, you my friend. So if a dude puts a woman in the friend zone, that's one thing. But if a woman puts a guy in the friend zone, that's something completely different. And that's what Sartain is going to say in this video, man. Let's check this out.
If you had a sister and some guy came up to your sister and like, suck my dick or we'll never talk again. Well, you'd probably break that guy's jaw. But for some reason, you think it's cool when you do it. No, it's not. It's not frame control. You're just being a loser. You just don't know how to communicate with the opposite sex. And there's like, one of the things that really drove these guys crazy is that can't be friends with females was such a hardcore ethos in the pickup community. And when it was put into practice through not the theoretical physicist, but the experimental physicist named Michael Sartain, when he puts it into practice, turns out, wait, that theory is actually now disproven. You can be friends with females. If you choose to put them in the friend zone, yes. If you are not the one putting them in the friend zone, if they're putting you in the friend zone, no. Then I agree with those guys from, whatever, red pill pickup, whatever. They're correct about that. How would you feel if you
right now? And Sartain ain't, he keeping it 100, bro. And if you follow his content, he'll tell you up front what he does with these women, why he makes these women his friends, because he uses them to gain access to top tier men, to wealthy men, right? And people know like he's the guy. So if you're gonna have an event, you want Mike there because you know he's gonna bring dimes. He can bring 100 beautiful women to your event, which is gonna make your event popping. That's why he has so many women, and you cannot smash them all. There's a lot of guys, you know, like, man, I'm gonna hit them all. Like, come on, bro. That's I already know you ain't smashing like that. You saying some silly stuff like that. I'm gonna smash them all. Like, no, you're not. No, you're not. You're gonna get tired of it. It is what it is, man. You get tired of it. I got tired of it as a fairly young man. As an old dude, I don't even tolerate it. Like, all right, I see what it is. So when I bring women around, that's just gonna give me access. Right now, how do you think I'm getting on the yacht? I don't always want to buy the boat or rent the boat or pay to rent the boat. I don't always want to buy the bottle to get in the VIP. How you think I do it? I network. That's a networking tool. Always having access to beautiful women. That's what I did in LA. Right. So whenever I had great shows, the first 2-3 rows were full of hot women. Right. And dudes were always there because they were there. Guys were like, hey, what are you doing? I'm going to this comedy show in the Valley. I'm going to this comedy show in Hollywood. Right. One girl would bring like 10 dudes because it'd be 10 dudes trying to holler at her because she's letting them know this is where I'm going to be. Right. And she's helping me out. And I'm not exaggerating. 10 dudes will come in there. And then you got, you know what I mean, 6 or 8 women like that in there. Boom. That's how you get sold out shows. They show up. They know it's dimes in there. They paying. They'll pay a little $10, $15, $20 to get in. You know what I mean? If they real big like that, they want to get big, they'll get themselves a bottle. Now, I wasn't doing bottle service back then. You know what I mean? But I would certainly do it now. Women will get you access. Period. Standing there with you got a beautiful woman on your arm, bro. You can walk in anywhere. Anywhere, you good. And add to that you have resources, you have money, so you can get in there. Like say, they might say, you know, you good, you come in, you and her, bro, we're gonna need $100 because it's a special event. Sorry, normally we'll just let you in. You give them $100, like it's not a problem. Here you go, bro. Run the card. It's good. It's good. Matter of fact, they need a place to sit, man. Ain't no problem. You and your girl, they ain't gonna make you pay for that. They'll get you that seat because they want people to see her. They might get you a free drink. Like, good looking out, bro. So that's why he talks about that. You can be friends, have a platonic relationship with beautiful women. Some dudes can do it. Those tend to be the top tier dudes. You got to put the women in the friend zone. They can't put you in the friend zone. And in this conversation, you know, that's what he was talking about. And he was, you know, and just a lot of dudes don't know how to talk to women. Let's keep it 100. A lot of dudes don't. And there's a lot to do with their own self-esteem. They believe they're going to get shot down anyway. So they just, you know what I mean? They sabotage their own approach. I don't know why. Just get, you know, this ain't nothing wrong with hearing no. She say no. She say she ain't shit, whatever. She could change her mind tomorrow, which brings us to the next. It brings us to the next one. This next video we're going to watch. Right, Rich Cooper video, which is the reason I decided to go live when I saw this. I'm like, man, I got to show this, man. Y'all got to see this. You know what I mean? Talking about being friends like Tim can. Yeah. Like Tim could be cool with dimes. That's funny. Women can be great assets. Yes, they are. Beautiful women are absolutely. I mean, bro, that's the key. You know what I mean? People like, how you level up? What's the cheat code? Show up with 3 beautiful women. I remember once. You know what I mean? You know what? Let me where's my button? I ain't played this button in the world in a minute. Check this out, y'all.
Everybody sit down, please. It's story time. It's story time.
It's story time, guys. This is when I was living in LA. This is before I got into comedy for real. This is before I got into comedy. I was always on the scene, doing whatever I was doing. And I came across these college girls, right? Man, I don't even know where I met them. I was out and about doing my thing. I'm at some club somewhere and I meet these girls. They were like sophomores or juniors at Valley College or something like that, Northridge or something, whatever. Beautiful young women. Beautiful. Now, they were at their peak. They were as fine as they could be. But they didn't have any money. College students, man. Their parents didn't have any money. They weren't going to USC. They weren't going to UCLA, right? So they came across me. And I wound up talking to 1 or 2 of them. They introduced their friends. You know what I mean? We must have been somewhere in Hollywood. Maybe we were at Saddle Ranch or something like that. I'm cool with the bartenders. They getting all the shots they want for free. Bartenders were taking care of me, right? Because I'm tipping like crazy. So they love me. Kept in touch, got their numbers, kept in touch with them. My buddy Dave was no longer with us. You know what I mean? Rest in greatest, Dave. I miss my dude. That's my guy. That's my dude. Damn, I miss my dog. But I had my man go like, hey man, we're gonna go to one. It was at the time one of the hottest clubs in Hollywood. Like, yo, bro, I'm gonna be up there, whatever. He got up there early. He's waiting. He can't get in. They got the ropes up and all that. You know, Hollywood's big on that. I pull up and I'm driving the 7 Series. It's me and 4 women. And then they had a couple more meters there. This is before Uber. So I pull up, valet, jump out the car. They all jump out the car. So it was me and 4 beautiful women, and there's 2 women. They were walking up like they're with us. And then I can hear, I'm with them. And I turn around, it's my man Dave. I'm like, yeah, he with us. And they boom, open up the rope. He come right on in. Right. I was cool with management. I was cool with all of the bouncers, cool with all of the bartenders in this particular spot. And this is a top tier nightclub at the time. I never had to wait in line, walk right in. Why? Because I always came in with dimes. So yeah, women, and then you get all kind of access, all sorts of access. They had a table waiting on me. We had food, everything. This is before popping bottles was like crazy. This particular club had like these back rooms that people would go into. But yo, it was popping, man. And then I can't remember the name of the club, but there's a song, It's Getting Hot in Here by Nelly. That video was shot in this club that I'm talking about. I can't remember the name of the club. I want to say it was Deep. I think it was called Deep. But It's Getting Hot in Here video. That's the nightclub that I'm talking about. We was all up in there. You know what I mean? So not doing the video shoot, of course, but just if guys want to see what kind of club I'm talking about, that's what it is. Up in that joint, man. Why? Because I'm with dimes. So women are absolutely great assets. And you need to learn how to talk to them, right? You need to learn how to talk to young, beautiful women. And can't talk that down to them. You got to know what you're doing, right? You absolutely got to know what you're doing. So, yeah, brother. Yeah, and the nights are like, Aunt Man, he don't have my game. Hey, bro, it is what it is, man. If you can talk to women, bro, that equals bread. Just keep it 100, man. That can get you in the room with millionaires, billionaires, business guys. I can't tell you how many deals I got because of that. I walk up, people like, oh yeah, that's Don right there, man. Yeah, you remember Little Shorty? Remember that night? Like, yeah, them his people, them his girls. What? You get girls like that? Yeah. Hey, won't you come to my place? It'd be promoters in there. Hey man, you want to come? We got a place on Sunday. You want to come through? All right, man. I'll come check you out. Well, bring the girls. Like, now I'm gonna see what you got going on first before I bring my people in there now. So I come in there, and again, I don't wait in line. They bring me in. I meet everybody. I get to check the joint out. Well, we growing. It's gonna be hot. Like, yeah, it's gonna be hot. I mean, that's all it is. And I was never a promoter for clubs. Do you get comped all the time? I wasn't on that. I didn't want to do all that. I didn't do that. But you can make money off of that, bro. If you got enough people, bro, you can start promoting. They'll pay you per person that you bring in that club. I didn't do that, but there's an opportunity to make good money doing that. There's people to make a living on that, hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. The big club promoters, millions. You know what I mean? But you're always jumping from club to club to club. But the key is access to beautiful women. Point blank, period. So we're going to talk about Rich Cooper, Unplugged Alpha. This is from Rich Cooper clips. All this will be in the descriptions for those watching on Team Replay. Rich is a very wise dude. He knows the game, right? He has a woman in his life. He's doing his thing. He's chilling, but he's on YouTube. He's helping people out as much as he can. For those who do listen, a lot of people call in. They get a lot of advice, not just on dating, but just on how to level up. They get advice on, businesses. Like Rich has, run businesses and done this kind of thing, had lots of employees, all like this stuff, right? So it's of knowledge. So he's doing this thing. This woman calls in, Sarah, and she's just talking. Initially, she was saying, she had a lot of pushback about his content. It's like, well, you're saying these things, you're saying that, you're saying this, and they're about to get into a conversation about They were talking about hypergamy and they were talking about mate selecting. And Rich was saying that men need to level up. Men are success items and women are sex items. So men look at women as sex items, or they're sexy, they want to smash, and women look at men as success. Like, this dude is successful, this dude has bread, this dude has status, this guy is big, he's tough, he's whatever. Right. So they're kind of going back and forth. She's like, no, that's not the case. Again, it's always like, I'm not that kind of woman, and blah, 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 blah. And he's like, oh, really? And then she gives him a story. And then he broke her story down for her, which I thought was hilarious. So let's check this out, bro. Let me pull this up. I gotta share the screen. And it's funny, like, Rich got her real comfortable, got her talking good. And he's just like, yo, this is how it is, bro. And there's nothing wrong with it. There's so many people who get so upset about these messages, be it RP, like the manosphere or non-manosphere. They get upset. And this is why they call them uncomfortable truths. Like, this is how it is. This is the truth. This is how it works. Right? This is how it works. Don't hate the messenger, man. Like I said, don't hate the player, hate the game. I'm just letting you know how it plays out. Don't get mad at me because you fell for the okie doke. You know what I mean? So let's check this out.
I would imagine that you wouldn't want anything to do with a broke dummy, on a long-term basis, right? Like,
can I give a dating story about that?
Okay, let's hear it. Sure.
So I was at a bar, nightclub, restaurant in LA with a friend. This guy at our table next to us, first thing I noticed, he was tall, he was in shape, he was gorgeous, maybe 40 years old, little older than I go for. Super cute. He ordered $10,000 champagne, $1,000 steak, and he invited us over. He had a huge stack of cash. And I was like, what are you guys doing after this? And he said, we're going to a strip club. And I was like, oh, is this something you do a lot? And he goes, yeah. Got my number, texted me the next day, because that's disgusting to me.
But you gave him your phone number.
I did, yeah.
Why did you give him your phone number if that's disgusting then?
I thought he was cute. He was really good looking. He had like a really cute face.
Right.
And he was tall and he was in shape. Yeah.
Y'all hearing that, right? He was tall. He was a little older than I normally went for. He was in shape, had tattoos, ordering $1,000 steak, $10,000 bottle of champagne, stacks of money laying around, probably with his crew. Right? Probably had on the accessories, wearing the jewelry, whatever got on the drip. Right? Talking crazy, probably had women sitting around. It was her, and I guarantee you she wasn't alone. And she gave dude her number. Right? Earlier, if you go back and watch this, like it's linked in the description. She's talking all this game. Nah, you don't have to be that type of guy. Women don't just go after that type of guy. Like, yeah, they do. All day, every day. Yes, they do. She took his number. So Rich, he dug in on. He didn't let this go, man. Y'all, let's keep going. Let's watch this. He didn't let it go.
He was my type physically. Yeah.
Okay, so physically, he was your type. You found him attractive.
Yeah.
Because he's a success object, right?
He was good looking. Yeah.
Well, you knew the steak was $1,000, right? Like, you knew the bottle of champagne was 10,000, or whatever it happened to be. The stacks of cash is odd to me because most guys that I know that
strip club. Yeah, it was weird.
I mean, like most guys that I know, they don't walk around carrying fat stacks of cash, right?
It was super strange. I asked him what he did for work, and they all apparently the whole group worked together, and they were they were like covered in tattoos. I was like, "What do you guys do for work?" It was very sketchy. So I have no idea.
But it wasn't sketch enough for you to give him your personal phone number,
right?
If you didn't like him, you would have given him a fake number, or you would have said, "Hey, follow me on Instagram" or something like that. But you gave him your phone number to your cell phone, right? So you kind of inadvertently proved my point.
Yeah, but I didn't follow up with him. If I was
fine. But women always reserve the right to change their mind later, right? That's another thing that I tell guys all the time. So even though you get the number, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get the date.
Facts. Right? She was like, "Well, I didn't respond to him or whatever." Mind you, he only hit her once. He texted her one time. She didn't hit him back. He was on to the next one. Right? He probably sent that text. He texted a batch of women. She was one of probably 6 or 7, maybe 8 women that he sent a text to that day. And I guarantee you it wasn't the next day. It was a few days later, and he thought, oh, let me hit a little shorty up. It might have been the next day. I mean, because if you running numbers, right? If you out there running numbers, like let me hit her up because I'm gonna forget. Excuse me. If I don't hit her up now, I'm gonna forget about her. Like again, the game's done changed so much. We tell dudes all the time, it's like, bro, back in the day, you used to be like, oh, wait 3 days before you reach out to her. Now, man, I'm texting her, bro. I'm texting her on my way home. Hey, it was good. It was good meeting you. Blah, blah, blah. Say something personal about her so she know I remember who she is. Like, talk about her clothes, what she was wearing, or her necklace, or the conversation we had. It was good. Good meeting you. Boom. I'm doing that on the way home. She might hit me back, and this happened. She'll hit you back like, what are you doing? Like, it's 2:30 in the morning. What are you doing? Hey, what's up? Where you at? That happens right then. If you wait 3 days, right, that what are you doing? Text is going to the other guy. Right. So that again, that's part of the game. He had his whole crew with him. They got money. They doing whatever they doing. They running numbers. They talking to every woman they see, they running numbers. So dude does not care. Right? He's coming at it from an abundance standpoint. This is all part of the game. And then she's like, oh, it was sketchy, it was this and that, da 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 da. Rich is like, well, why did you give dude your number? If he was really sketch, well, I didn't do anything. It didn't lead to nothing. Yeah, but you remember, dude, you still talking about it. She bumping the dude again, she might want to holler at him. If he has time to focus on her because he still has the bread, right? Still has the look. He's still tall. He's in shape. He got the tats. He's still a bad boy. All they got to do is come in there and run a little game on her. And boom, she bowed it. Like Rich said, is women, they do that. They can make up their mind. They change their mind often. You might see a woman who don't even want to holler at you. I tell dudes this all the time. You go over and you talk to a woman, you walk up with a presence, you walk up like a man head held high, you holler at her, you run your game, she shoot you down, fine. You walk away the way you walked up, head held high. All right, love, well, I'll talk to you later. It was nice. It was a pleasure talking to you. Keep it moving. And then she gonna see you hollering at other people as the night goes on. And guess what? She'll circle back to you. Women change their minds all the time. All the time. You be with someone like, there's no way in hell she gonna let me smash. 2 hours later, there you go, tearing it up. Like, how did this happen? Women change their mind all the time. So, yeah, but like I said, Rich stayed on it. He stayed on it. Yeah, Knight. We're gonna have some beautiful women at our mixer. And I'm gonna show you how to make that happen, bro. We definitely gonna make that happen. I will bring the more mature, noble women. Y'all gonna have to bring these wild, crazy chicks. All right, we'll talk about that to me. But let's continue. Listen to what Rich has to say.
Sometimes she likes you in that moment, or she thinks you're good in that moment, but has second thoughts about it later, right?
Yeah, someone who has class. Like, I don't want some guy going to strip clubs. That's disgusting.
Right, but you still gave him your phone number even though he told you he was going to a strip club.
Yeah.
You see the irony here, right? Right? So like this is the confusion that a lot of guys have with women is they don't really, behave in a consistent way with like guys that go to strip clubs, but then you go and give them the phone number anyway, right? Like when the behavior trumps the words, then I tell guys, believe the behavior, right? Like there was a genuine interest at that time when you gave him the phone number. It's just you rethought that. Maybe you had a couple of drinks that night. Maybe you were feeling good. You're with your girls. This might have been interesting. Okay, we'll do the number swap sort of thing. And then, sobriety settled in. You said, I don't want to hang out with this guy because he goes.
Yeah, the red flag. I was like sober and I was like, you know what, that's a red flag. So right. It didn't matter if he had money or whatever. Like that wasn't what I'm looking for in a relationship. So
yeah. But you still give him the phone number.
Why is that relevant? I give my phone number out all the time.
Why would you give out something as private as your cell phone number to a guy that you're not genuinely interested in?
I think I was interested and
you were interested and you knew he was going to strip club anyway, but you still gave him the phone number. You see what I'm saying, right? Like you had a genuine interest in him. It's just, it was fleeting in that moment, which is why, you rescinded it.
Yeah.
Right. And she's saying, well, why is it such a big thing that I gave my number out? It's like, because you was in the dude. Right. And here's the thing. If she was what dude was looking for, he would have absolutely peeled her off from the pack and gotten her here and hit her with some of that game, right? He absolutely would have gotten her ear and hit her with the
holla, 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 holla.
He would have done that, right? Because he already knew she was trying to holler at him. He knew that. He knew it the moment he saw her, man. She trying to get it. You know what I mean? She's trying to get it. But he didn't care because that's not what he wanted. But he was like, yeah, you know, all right, I'll take your number. Why? Because he's in that mode. It's just a numbers game. I'll take your number. Like, she's not unattractive. He's just like, all right, something to do. You know what I mean? Maybe she wasn't wearing anything revealing. Maybe, you know what I mean? Maybe she had on some loose fitting clothes. Maybe she's not the prettiest in the face, right? You know what I mean? It's nothing. Maybe she's like a little bit above average, which I'm willing to state. If she were drop dead gorgeous, bro, she would be on the screen. She wouldn't have, you know what I mean, this blank icon up here. She would have either a picture of herself or herself on there live. If she were hot like that, she would be on the screen talking to Rich Cooper. She absolutely would be. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, sounds like she has some morals, but she would have failed for dude. If dude wanted her, all he had to do was get in her ear a little bit, holler at her, boom, he would have got her. He would have got her. Now, this, again, the uncomfortable truth that people don't want to hear. She's saying that, well, it didn't matter that he had money. It didn't matter that he was tall and hot. And Rich is like, yes, it did. That's why you gave him his number. You gave him your number, not your Instagram, not your Facebook. You know what I mean? You didn't say no. You could have just said no thanks. You hollered at dude. You wanted that attention from dude, right? He wasn't even trying to run no kind of game. Where you guys are going? Like, we're going to a strip club. Oh, man, and what's your name? You want to go? He didn't care. He's just looking for whatever. Like, we're going to see where this ends. He knew he was coming home with something that night. He didn't care. And she's like, sketching this and that. And, you know, but why'd you give me your number? Because that's what you want. She wanted him for that hot second, just like Richard's saying. And then she's like, well, I give my number to everybody. That is a lie, right? That is a lie. No, she does not. Rich didn't, you know, he didn't call her out like that, but come on, man. You do not give your number to everybody. Cut that out. Cut that out. I guarantee you there's a couple dudes that hollered at her that she don't even remember from that night. She couldn't even see them dudes. Guarantee it. I guarantee you there's a guy that bought her a drink that night. And she just took the drink. Didn't even like look his way, like, oh, thank you. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not calling her out on that. But she didn't get that guy her number, right? She didn't get the dudes who probably walked up to her earlier in her number. Pretty sure that wasn't the only place they went to that night. She gave this guy her number, her phone number. Like, so now, like, you know, Rich is right, man. You just kind of let her know. You know what I mean? Let's check this. Let's continue.
Right. So, look, I know that a lot of the stuff that I say is not always popular with women, but a lot of the stuff that I say is factual, and it, you know, just is what it is. Like, I just have a way with picking up on these things, right? Like, gotcha.
Exactly. Gotcha.
I mean, I don't, nothing happened. I gave him my phone number. Like, we didn't go
I'm
on
not
a
saying
date.
anything happened.
We
I'm
didn't
not saying
kiss.
anything happened.
Nothing
But
happened. So
what I'm
I don't
saying is,
consider that.
if you are a woman that is concerned about your public image, you are concerned about not exposing too much skin, you are concerned with how you hold yourself out to the public, then you should also be more discerning in who you give your phone number to. There's some weird mofos out there, right? And you can do a lot with somebody's phone number, right? There's ways to find out where they live, where they bank, where they work. There's some weirdos out there, right? So I would not recommend giving your phone number to a guy that might be a little shady.
I know. It was that whole thing about women care if men are promiscuous or they go to sex clubs or whatever. Yeah, we do. Like, I don't know a single stable woman who wants a guy who's just super promiscuous and they think strip clubs are fun. And I don't know.
So the whole promiscuity conversation, you're concerned for different reasons than men are concerned. Like, men are more concerned with a woman's past, whereas a woman is more concerned with a man's future. She might have some interest in his past. Like, if he's been with 1,000 guys, and she might say, okay, well, maybe he has children out there that I don't know about, or maybe he has a STD, which is problematic, obviously. So they look at it from that perspective, right? But when men look at a woman and they judge her because of her past, and they say that's disgusting because she shared her body with 50 men, then it's a legitimate concern, right? The issue of paternity is usually what drives the disgust in men, because women have 100% assurance that a child, if they are pregnant, is 100% theirs. But men, on the other hand, they don't have any assurance that the child is theirs unless they know that she's been exclusive to him. So the more men that he finds in it, right? So again, like, you can be disgusted with a man's promiscuity, but it's generally for different reasons.
Yeah, and you look at now, of course, we have DNA. Like, yes, we can tell, be honest, shadow of a doubt that is your child, but that's brand new. DNA is brand new. So men are hardwired a certain way. I can sign off on that. I deal with that. Coming up the way I came up, I've said this before. I don't think I've ever been with a virgin. I don't think I know any. You're just keeping it 100. Like, I don't think I know any. So I don't really care about a virgin. In fact, I'm not even trying to deal with one, especially at my age. Like, I'm good. I don't want a virgin. But I get where he's coming from. If I'm dealing with a woman and I know for a fact she's been with 50 dudes, I'm never going to take her serious. I'm not going to do it. Another uncomfortable truth. Like, I'm never going to do it. I don't think there's a woman out there who are like, well, I'm not going to marry this man, this wealthy man who loves me and has done everything for me because he's had 50 girls. I don't. In fact, she's expecting him to have experience with women. I buy that too. Like, we don't look at it the same way. Right? Again, more uncomfortable truth, but this information that Rich is giving and the information that the RP, I mean, it came from Rich. Right? You got a lot of people, this stuff that Rich Cooper is saying, you hear a lot of other guys on the, these guys in the manosphere or Mano Swamp saying the same thing. Why? Because they got it from him. Right? They got it from other old dudes. It is what it is. Guys are like, this is how it works. Like, again, this woman was talking to a dude. She was into him immediately. And had he given her more attention, he could have messed with her. It would have taken time. Maybe it would have taken him a week or two. He had to meet her a few times over a period of time. But within the first 3 meetings, he was smashed. Dude got the bread. If he wanted to, he'd be like, all right, man, I'm going to take, what's going on. He could have not, he could have gave her a story about we went to the strip club because it was so-and-so's birthday or whatever. He could have hit her with some game, and she'd have been more than willing to accept it because that's what she wants. Dude, just like, I ain't gonna put in the time, man. I don't care. I got other stuff going on. He hit her up. Like, all right, what's up? Nothing. All right, cool. It ain't like he hit her back. Like, all right, whatever. But she gave up the number because she wanted to hear from dude. Period. Rich was 100% correct. And then the whole thing with paternity and why it's hardwired in men. I mean, I see that argument. I don't live by that argument, but I see that argument. Right? Again, if I tell women all the time, like, man, keep that stuff in the closet where it belongs. Don't let me find out. I'm not really trying to do all that. I ain't really trying to hear all that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you're OnlyFans girl? All right. You know what I mean? Okay, that just changed the way I see you. I'm not going to tell you. It's not going to be any alarms going off like, red lights. Nah, I'm just like, okay, I see what it is. I'm going to have fun with her. I'm going to have fun with her. I'm going to see what's up with her girl. She's probably going to play. She's going to play for real. We're going to have some fun. You're an OnlyFans girl. How serious can I take you? Now, I ain't bringing you around nobody in my circle. I ain't bringing you around nobody. I'm going to bring you out when I go out. It's like if you're a stripper. Oh, man, you're a beautiful stripper. But I met this one girl, she's been in the business for over 20 years. Still beautiful. Still beautiful. Like 20 years. Gorgeous. Girl next door type beauty. I mean, absolutely gorgeous. Knew how to talk to people. Very feminine. Like that was her thing. That's how she got dudes. And she was making money. 20 years in the business. There's something wrong. There's something wrong. Hey, we can have some fun. That was, again, that's one of the type women that I would bring around. I could bring her around wealthy dudes, millionaire types, billionaire types. I only know a couple billionaires, but you could bring them around and she wouldn't embarrass you. She could work the room. She knew what she was doing. Guys be trying to get at her. It still make me look good because I'm another dime. But no way. People like, you should just marry her, man. She's such a great woman. Like, bro, you don't even know what she do, bro. You talking about you want to marry her? Go ahead. Like, go ahead, go holler at her. Go ahead. I used to have call girls in my crew. That's what they did for a living. It was cool. It was cool with me. That's what they did for a living. There were certain people I didn't bring them around because they would go right to work and getting money, and that can make things bad. But when I was doing like some hood stuff, yeah, man, some hood stuff, comedy shows, whatever. Yeah, I bring her. I turn her loose. There you go. You got me in the club. Thank you. And she's working her, doing her thing, making her money. I got in. I'm cool. I'm hollering at what I'm gonna holler at. So it is what it is, bro. It is what it is, man. But yeah, Rich was telling her, like telling this young woman, don't just be giving your number out. I don't even ask for numbers anymore. I ask for Instagram. Like, what's your Instagram? What's your Facebook? I use social media. I don't want their number because I don't want them to have mine. That's pretty much why I do it. Like, I don't want you to have my number. And he's right. People could do a lot with your phone number. A lot. You know what I mean? You can do a lot by just running up, somebody's phone number, and got to be careful out there. Got to be smart. So yeah, these are the three dudes that are non-red pill, non-manosphere coaches. And, the thing is this, man, the messages are very similar. It's just the delivery. You see how Rich was talking to this young woman, kid gloves, and you see how he was able to get the information out. He got to the truth. He was just being persistent and just, hey, this is how it works. We talked about hypergamy and all that. Go back and check that whole clip out, man. That clip is like 22 minutes. Talked about hypergamy and all the rest of it. Like, yeah, this is what women want. Tend to want taller guys. They want handsome dudes who are in shape, dudes who got money. She went right to that guy and was like, boom, here go my number. And she's mad. I mean, that red flag. I mean, what were they doing? I asked them what they did for work. They had cash and and they had all this money. And she knew how much the steak cost. She knew how much the champagne cost, right? All that comes into play. And that's all Rich was saying. Like, look, this is all part of it. But I mean, he didn't get anything. It didn't go anywhere. He got your number, love. Like 80% of dudes wouldn't even get that. He got your number. And if he really wanted to holler at you, he could have got you. Again, Rich he took it easy on her. Like, baby, he had you. If you watching this, Sarah, he had you. Right? He had you. He just didn't want you. That's all that boiled down to. If you would have hit him up and went out with him, he'd have took you somewhere and been trying to smash. And if he wasn't getting that, he'd have been gone. That was set up 2 or 3 dates that night. He's running the numbers. That's just how it is. You're going to have more women look at you when you got cash like that or perceive to have cash like that versus when you don't. And that's just an uncomfortable truth. So yeah, there you have it, guys. That's it right there, man. Rich Cooper, at Stephan Speaks, Michael Sartain, those are the dudes who are, the non-RP, non-Mano Swamp coaches out there. And y'all should listen to their messages. Y'all should definitely check them out. Read Unplug Alpha. I got that right behind me on my bookshelf. Yo, guys, y'all need to read Unplug Alpha if you haven't read it already. That is definitely a must. Read that book. Read that book. And listen to these cats. Like, check out their stuff, man. They, support, subscribe, like their stuff, man. Call in on Rich's show. Call in. Talk to him. It's a real cool dude. Right? Real cool dude. Yeah, man, he got some wisdom there. I tell all people that I, bump into, like, yeah, man, holler at dude, for real. He can break it down for you. So yeah, man, I hope y'all got a little bit out of that, man. We've been doing this for an hour. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. But yeah, like I saw that clip, man. I was just sitting there watching it like, bro, she set it all up for him. He was like, you just proved my point, love. You just proved my point. Well, ain't no well to it. You proved my point. This is how it works. There's nothing wrong with it. But this is the game. Fellas, learn from this. Watch this video and learn. This is how it works. It's a numbers game on the one end. For the dude with the money hanging out with his crew, going to the club, it's a numbers game for him. And for women, y'all need to understand that there's dudes out there who they know that they are in demand and they're going to use that to their advantage and they're going to run their game. So be careful, ladies. Be careful. If you fall for the game, it's your fault. Your fault. Don't get mad at nobody else. It ain't all men. It's that dude you hollered at. It's him. It's not all of them. Same for the dudes. Some girl run your pockets. It's your fault. Should have been up on your game. Period. You know what I mean? Period. So that's just it. Like, I hope Tim brings some. Yeah. They talk about for our mixer. It's gonna work out, fellas. We're gonna talk about that. You know what I mean? I'll see y'all night soon. You know what I mean? We got a meeting coming up. I'll see you boys soon. We'll definitely talk about it. And we'll get up to speed and do what we got to do. Shout out to the new Templars, man. Like I said, we're gonna make that happen. Just getting that foundation down there, getting it solid. thanks for rocking out with me, y'all. Y'all know I don't normally come up late. It's late. It's 12 o'clock almost on the East Coast. And like I said, if you're watching this on Team Replay, you know, hey, everything is clipped in the description. Check out those. Check out Richard's clip, that video. Check that out. And that's it, man. It's time to go to sleep for some of y'all. I'm gonna try to go to sleep. I'll probably be up for another hour or two. I ain't been sleeping right, but it is what it is. I'm gonna holler at y'all later. I'm DL Saint. This is the DL Saint I Really Want to Know podcast, man. I'm gonna holler at y'all later. Peace.
Darn, that's the end.